Oh, I thought it was starting too.
It started.
Well, you guys have a good trip.
Where's the next one start?
House tour?
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there? Okay.
This time it's 3 o'clock. It should
Yeah.
be about 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. That's what I thought you were doing.
Oh, no.
So what was that lake you were talking about? What's it do?
Well, the guy was still, the Hugh Hauser, he did these specials, and it was that when you get a lot of rain in Death Valley, there's a spot here where it creates, for all practical purposes, it looks like a lake, and it will be, I think it said it'd be like 2 feet deep, and it would be there for a few days, and then it would dry up. And he said it's down by Prince Creek. But anyway, I say that because years ago when I was in Seattle, and they were talking about Deception Pass. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Deception Pass. And anyway, and I forget the name of the explorer, but the explorer, when he was going up Puget Sound, thought that he had an inlet or an outlet to the Midwest or the East Coast. So he goes up this Deception Pass, and after X amount of days, the water hit back out to the sound, and he was stuck there until enough water came back in, and he went back out. So
that's the name, Deception Pass.
Deception Pass. So I thought about that when I heard you houses. Oh man, I have to remember that when they get a heavy rain to try to come over and see that.
That'd be cool.
See that water thing. Because he walked out in it, because you be looking at it, it's like, man, it looks like a regular lake. And he just walked out. He walked out like 100 yards, and it was still,
Still 2 feet?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked like a couple feet deep.
That's like the racetrack. You've heard about that mystery, I guess.
Wasn't on heaven, but I saw it on the map today, as we were coming over.
Did you go down in there?
No, I don't have a vehicle to get there.
My son was telling me about the rocks moving and stuff.
Yeah, and leave a trail. And,
Wow, I'm like, wow, that's weird.
and just today I watched at the visitor center in Furnace Creek, I watched the video, and they claim they still don't know, but I thought I'd seen some YouTube where some guy went out there and videotaped what was going on, so I don't know what the latest is. But,
On YouTube.
right,
Oh, they have a video in the visitor center?
Yeah, they have a movie.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. It's about 20 minutes long. It's nice.
Oh, okay. We have to check that out.
Yeah, I wonder if you really need a 4-wheel drive. I mean, it's not like you want to chance it out here, though.
I've pushed it a little bit with rentals, but the racetrack, it's so far out there.
28 miles, right?
And I mean it's a lot of sharp rock and a lot of washes that have occurred. Apparently, they've closed a lot of the roads. That one's still open, but I've never got the nerve to do it. I did one from Bishop, California.
Is
Came through.
part of the tour?
395?
Yes.
5, 6, 7, 8. Does everyone have tickets?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I counted 7, so making sure everyone's on the correct tour. House tour.
I did that drive from Bishop.
I will in a sec.
I got over here and was talking about it, and they're like, "You're crazy."
It's great, though. Maybe this is underground tour.
Underground tour.
Where's that one start?
Around the corner and over the bridge over that empty swimming pool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's where they keep the gold.
Yeah. We'll give you a small amount.
It's small amounts.
Now, is it really an underground tour?
Yep, so there are about 400 yards of tunnels here. The longest tunnel is going up that way, underneath the road here, towards the horse stables.
Oh, but it doesn't get there. Were they mines?
No. The owner, right, the builder of this place, showed all these tunnels here in the 1920s when he started seeing the city of Chicago doing the same thing.
I just did the underground tour, and I do recommend it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Okay, so looks like we got everybody. So it sounds like not everyone's been here before.
Nope.
You've been on the underground.
We've been on there.
You've been on the underground. You have not been on the underground. And you are reading some books here. Just to forewarn you, my tour matches not completely 100% up with that. So we'll see how we do. So, regardless if you've ever been here before or if you've been here for only the underground, for the house, we have a lot of rules. Okay? Chris told you there are no bags, gum, water, all of that. And I'm about to tell you why. Okay? Now, once we go inside, everything in there is 100% original. Okay? So let's imagine that we're in a museum. In a museum, everything's behind plastic. You know, we've got cases for everything. We don't have that in here. What we're trying to do is have you go back in time. We want you to go back to 1939. That's a historical time period here at Scotty's Castle. And if we put everything in plastic, it's going to be hard for you to imagine that you're in 1939. So to preserve it and for you to interpret it, we make sure that you can get that feeling back. But it's to your benefit not to touch these items so that future generations can appreciate them. Right? So that's why we don't let water, gum, food, bags. Well, bags ended up knocking items over, unfortunately. Now, there are 4 things we can touch on today's tour. You, sir, are standing on one of those. So we're going to walk on the black carpet or the red tile. Okay? If you're not walking on those 2 items, then you're most likely standing on the original carpet. Okay? Now, once we go inside, I'm going to tell you the other 2 things that we can touch. Okay? For now, I'm wondering, or I'm curious, if you all are thinking about why I'm dressed up like this. Perhaps. Maybe you 2 know. What did Patrick say about that?
Just dressed in the period.
Dressed in the period. So we're dressed up, the tour guides, like someone from 1939. Patrick might have been a tour guide from 1939 because we had tours here. I am a carpenter, so I am Ranger Tommy, but for today's purposes, call me Carpenter Tom. Okay? Now, do y'all have any questions about logistics?
Yes,
Yes.
my husband has to meet a locksmith. So can he rejoin our tour? Can he join our tour later?
Chris, can you chauffeur him up afterwards? Okay. Yeah. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay.
What is all this made?
We're going to talk about that. No. Tell you what, do you see how this is kind of worn down?
Yeah.
What is the number 1 mechanism in Death Valley? No, in Death Valley.
Oh,
It's erosion.
Yes.
This is not caused from erosion. Because look up there where people can't touch it.
Got it.
That looks nice. This doesn't.
That's probably,
that's
that's probably from
body
1939.
Probably not. That's probably over the years. You know? Now, it's real hard. Trust me, I'm not going to, whip you if you touch it. But if my curator was here, she's going to give me the death stare. Okay?
And it's original, right?
Everything that you see, minus the obvious, is original.
Is this original, the tiles?
Everything is original, including the tiles from Glendale, California.
So he imported materials?
So,
I say Scotty sounds like a he to me.
had a lot of stuff built outside Los Angeles, and it's transferred from there to here. So there are some things here that are imported from Europe, but many more, much more, is made here in America, right? So, let's head over here. Now, if you want to take pictures, take as many as you want, and I encourage you taking them as I talk. Let's get out of the sun in the shade over by these seats.
Beautiful courtyard.
So, how did you hear about Scotty's Castle?
On the map?
You saw it on the map? How about you two in the back? How did you hear about this place?
Roadside.
Saw the sign?
A friend from work here.
Okay.
He's at a United States national map.
So the National Geographic prints out a map of all the national parks.
Right, and all the interesting things in them.
In them. So how many national parks are there? There are about 56 national parks. There are 401 national park units. Okay?
What's that?
Anything. So there are, like the National Mall in Washington, D.C. is not a national park. It's one of the ambiguous kind of designations. However, in 1939, you could have heard about Scotty's Castle from a friend, saw a sign as you were driving through the park, or saw it on the map, right? And you would have been curious about this place, a mansion in the middle of nowhere. And you decided to come up here. You drove up here. It took you hours. You went down over there. You bought a ticket for $1 to go on a house tour. And on the ticket, it says Scotty's Castle. On your ticket today, it says Scotty's Castle. So we're all under the impression that this place is called Scotty's Castle. Correct? However, what does it say above that door? Death Valley Ranch. So, this is one of the things that I don't personally think is a 100% clear. Okay? It is up to you to formulate your own opinions about this place and its true name. Okay? After today's tour, if you still have questions about the real name behind this place, ask me. Okay? But that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today on the entire tour.
Are you going to talk about who Scotty was?
What is the one thing that we need, no matter if it's 2013 or 1939, to survive out here? Water. About a mile east of here, there are several springs. They flow down here, stopping here, and the rest continue to the heart of Death Valley. That is why they decide to build their mansion here. And I am talking about, who am I talking about when I say they? Johnson's and Scotty. So we've got Albert and Bessie Johnson and Death Valley Scotty. Those are the three people we're going to talk about on today's tour. Since they have been on the underground tour, you've got a fair amount of information, background information, but you probably heard most about Albert Johnson.
Correct.
We're going to talk about the other two today.
Did you say Howard Johnson?
Albert.
Oh, Albert.
Johnson.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Now, I want you all to play along with me, okay? I definitely want to encourage as many questions as possible, but I want you to pretend like it's 1939, because this is how you're going to get the most benefit out of this experience. Okay, the underground is very hard to pretend it's 1939. When we're inside, everything is original to 1939, so it's a lot easier. Okay, so as we walk through this door, we go into the Great Hall. Pretend that it's Bessie Johnson welcoming you all into her home. Okay, so follow me.
Amazing.
So did the Johnsons travel a lot? Did they know a lot of wealthy people?
Definitely knew a lot of wealthy people, but they knew a lot more religious people than anything else.
Okay.
They themselves were wealthy.
They were extremely wealthy, unless you think that $60 million in the 1920s was that much money.
How much did you say?
$60 million. So have we all gone back in time?
Yeah, this looks like the Vanderbilt mansion in Biltmore. Biltmore?
So I actually have never been inside that.
Okay.
I've only been to the McDonald's across the street.
Oh, come on.
But you know that McDonald's, they got a player piano in there, and everyone dressed up who works there has a tuxedo on.
I missed that in McDonald's.
So pretend like I'm the guy working at McDonald's. And I'm pretending a little bit, right? So work with me. Right, so have you all pictured Bessie Johnson welcoming you onto her home? Bessie Johnson's favorite chair is right there. So let's imagine that she decides to sit down, and to her left is Scotty. And lounged across this couch is Albert Johnson. And the 7 of us are sitting on the couch here. And in 1939, we are going to be mostly interested to hear what Scotty has to say, as opposed to the other two, or taking pictures in all the rooms. And that's because Scotty is famous, infamous. He loves to tell stories, and if we're sitting here and we have the privilege to talk to him, we're going to be asking him about his stories that we've been reading over the decades. Specifically, the gold mine. Scotty tells everybody that he has a gold mine out here, and in 1939 we're going to ask him where it is. Right then and there, he gives me a wink. I'm sitting here. I'm the carpenter. I go downstairs into that basement, but I'm going to bring a pot and a pan with me. Start banging them up against the pipes, making a lot of noise. Okay? You're going to ask Scotty, what is all this noise? He is going to tell you those are his miners working downstairs in his gold mine. He built his castle above his gold mine. That is what he's going to say. And then he'll say, where do you keep your mine? Now, let's just look around this room for a second. We're going to get back to the story here in a moment. But this is not a trick question. What is this?
Fireplace.
Fireplace. But how about that? Waterfall. Good guess? All the above. So imagine this. Water is trickling down the wall into the pool with a fountain.
Can we look?
Yes, you can. It recirculates, and it does two things. It's pretty nice to look at, but it's providing moisture into the air.
Okay.
Keeping it nice and cool in here, which is pretty important. We are in Death Valley. It's the hottest place in the world. Outside during June, July, and August, it could be 115, 120 up here in the canyon. Inside, Bessie will tell you, it doesn't get above 93 degrees because of that. Now, that is one of 2 here. This is one of 14. So what do you think they were mostly concerned with? Heating this place up or cooling it down?
Heating.
Okay. Yes. We're going to talk a little bit more about that, and some of which you may already know when we go upstairs. Okay?
Can I ask one quick? Was Scotty rich too?
Maybe. Kinda.
He built this house?
So I'm going to let you formulate your own opinions about things. There's a reason to my madness. I want you to play along with me a little bit, but I'm not going to divulge everything at one instance because that's more of a yes. That's not a yes or no question. Okay? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's 1939. We are sitting on this couch. We are talking to Scotty, and it's getting late. We're getting tired. So is he. So he's going to get up out of his chair. He's going to walk over this floor and into his bedroom. So let's follow him. And as we go into his bedroom, I'm going to point out his toy collection. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
So I think that's a really good thing I mentioned there, man, because I really haven't stressed that to folks before. People sometimes want to know that answer right off the bat, and it's not fair to you if I say yes or no. Because I really honestly think that other tour guides have different opinions about it than I do. So you may have different opinions than I do. So if I answer that one way, it wouldn't be fair to you to kind of judge it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Can I ask this? Were they co-owners of the land? And
Yes. Do you want technical questions? I can give you technical questions.
No, I just
yes.
I wouldn't know his relationship. I mean, was he like having an affair with him or something?
No. If people think it, some of them yes.
Oh.
But you know what? Technically, Scotty owns some land. Now, we're in his bedroom. It's 1939. This is where Scotty came when retired for the evening. But he doesn't stop here. He continues out this door into his car and drives 5 miles down to Lower Vine Ranch where he lives. Scotty never lived at Scotty's castle. He never slept in that bed.
But made it look like it.
Albert Johnson did. Now, to understand this dynamic, let me give you some background information. Scotty is born in 1872, and at the age of 11, he leaves his home. He leaves Kentucky. And he comes out west looking for a job. At 11, this man is a survivor. He comes out here and he works for the Harmony Borax Mining Corporation. And about 5 years later, he goes up north on a cattle ride with his brothers. When a talent scout discovers Scotty. A talent scout working for that man there discovers Scotty. Buffalo Bill Cody.
I saw the picture, yeah. Oh my God.
Now, Buffalo Bill Cody has his Wild West show, and Scotty is a trick shooter and a stunt rider in that show for 11 years. On that 12th year, he goes to New York to start the new season, but he is a week late. Now, do you have an employer, or have you ever had an employer that's okay with you being a week late to work?
Without informing them, send a telegram or something
Without
like
informing
that.
them. I know. Because if you did, right, you probably still have that job. Now, Buffalo Bill's not very happy with Scotty, so he fires Scotty. Scotty is stuck in New York, a place he does not want to be, with no money, without any prospects. So what is he going to do?
Find a job.
That's what a reasonable person would do, right? Mm-hmm. Scotty's not very reasonable. He's got one talent. And that talent is to talk. So Scotty starts talking, telling everybody about his gold mines. And people become interested in this gold mine. Rich people give him money, invest money into Scotty. Scotty takes their money, he comes out here to Death Valley to work on that gold mine, but he doesn't stay. He continues west to Los Angeles. Now, I'm going to put a pause button.
What's the year now? What year are we
This
in?
would be about 1904, 1905. I'm just going to put a pause button on that for 1 second. Okay? We're going to pick it up when we go back inside. But I want to point something out. We're going to walk outside here on this patio. And I want you all to look through the hole in this wall. And we're going to wrap around the other side. We're going to talk about what this hole was used for. And some of you may know. And if you do, because you've read it.
I just want to point out I'm from Kentucky and we're all related, so you better not be bad mouthing.
Where in Kentucky?
South of Louisville.
Oh.
How'd you say it?
South of Louisville.
He's from Cynthia.
Okay, I know where that is.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It's like an hour from Cincinnati,
Right.
where my wife's from.
Cool. Okay, it's not a peephole, is it?
Can you talk in there and it comes out here?
Why don't you say it?
Like just here or put my mouth in that cone?
I heard you.
Did you? Okay.
However, that's not the purpose of this.
Okay.
So what do you think the purpose of this is?
It's not to check the weather.
It's not a gun port. Oh, it is a gun port?
What is a gun port?
Well, you can stick your rifle through the hole.
So how would that work, you think?
I
with
don't know
this
because there's a
apparatus?
piece of metal on it.
Ricochets.
It ricochets.
Oh, and guess whoever's standing at the door?
So this is a shot splitter.
Oh,
This is, I guess, a gun port with a shot splitter. So let's paint this picture for you all, okay? Now, he is telling everybody, Scotty is, that the gold mine is under the house. And the entrance to that gold mine is through this door and under the bed. So everybody knows where the gold is and how to access it. Right?
Okay, now is this still 1902? Are we still at that time?
Construction starts of this house in 1922.
Oh, okay.
So I'm jumping around because the story lasts for decades.
Oh, got it.
It doesn't
Okay.
stay for a year or two. It lasts for decades. Even today, it's a fun story to tell.
I can see that.
So don't you think that maybe there was a lawbreaker out here in Death Valley at the time? Someone that would want to steal this gold? So imagine that if you want to steal this gold, all you got to do is go through this door and bang it down and push it out of your way. Or say, break the glass over here and get yourself inside. So imagine Scotty hears this, because we are making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So he grabs one of the guns. He sticks it through the gun port, pulls the trigger. A shotgun, hits the back of this. It splits in two. And then we drop down to the ground.
Where were you? And this is original, correct?
This piece of metal.
That is original. Can you ask that one more question?
Was it ever used?
Was it
That was my
ever
next thing to
used?
see if it was, to look and see if the metal
Do you think it was ever used?
Somebody got killed.
You don't see any evidence here, and there's no evidence on the back side.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if we decided to try?
I'm afraid to come back and kill the person who shot.
Yeah.
That could happen, but perhaps depending on the shotgun, depending on the ammo we used, maybe this whole apparatus just flies off the wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
So this was never intended for actual use. So what do you think the purpose of this was? A prop to deter people from stealing the gold. Now, spoiler alert. There is no gold. There never was any gold. So what do you think this really was? It was a prop not to deter, but to perpetuate the story of a gold mine. And if there was never any gold, who built this place?
Albert Johnson.
Albert Johnson, and I'll even say Bessie Johnson. The multi-millionaires from Chicago, they built this place. So the question here is, and has always been, why do they let the con man, the cowboy, drill a hole through the wall? Okay?
Did he con them too?
Scotty?
Yeah. Did Scotty con them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you technical questions.
Okay.
You ask me a question or answers? Yeah.
He did. Okay.
He did. Now, we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about Albert Johnson when we go through that door into the lower music room. But I'm going to point out that building back there, which these two were in earlier. This is the powerhouse. Okay? And you know all that water we have? Does Patrick say how much water we have?
Yes, he did. It's over 100 psi.
We've got enough water here to support over 300 modern-day homes here at Grapevine Canyon. The water flows today at over 350 gallons per minute, over 150 psi, down the canyon and into that building, moving the wheels inside a Pelton water wheel, which harnesses the energy to make electricity here. So in the 1920s, there was electricity in the middle of nowhere when most of the world had never heard of such a thing.
So that's an original chandelier.
Chandelier.
In that.
Exactly. And this here would have been an original light switch for that light. They put this plate over it.
Now, is that water just flowing through the aquifer? Or is it
Yes.
in a pipe or?
Well, it flows to the aquifer, then a natural spring comes out, and Albert Johnson creates a reservoir to hold it
Got it.
for a while. Then he pipes it down here.
Got it. Okay.
And then he goes larger diameter, smaller diameter,
which increases the price. Oh, very cool. Was he an engineer too? Ah.
Let's head inside. Let's talk about Albert Johnson. Now, watch your step on the right-hand side. There's kind of a tripping hazard associated with that waterfall, that second one. Now, get nice and cool. It's kind of interesting how cool it is in here, since it's the sunroom. But let's head back into this room, because this room has more room, and that's where we're going to talk about Albert Johnson.
This room is parallel to bed over there.
Correct. Now, I'm going to give you a little safety, little tidbit, right? I'm a ranger, and it's getting warmer today. Luckily, our co-workers here kind of turned on the AC. It's actually kind of cool in here right now. But if you feel like you're kind of uncomfortable, the sun's getting to you, and
Oh, you don't want to fall into a
that.
Oh.
you need to sit down. There are 2 chairs in this room that's okay to do. Can you pick those chairs out?
Right out there.
Right there. Yeah.
Those 2 chairs are not original to Scotty or Albert or Betsy, so those 2 chairs you can sit in. Okay? Now, I want to introduce you to Albert Johnson in Death Valley, Scotty. Alright? Now, Albert is also born in 1872, but to a wealthy family. And he goes and he gets his engineering degree at an Ivy League school. Okay, he comes back to the Midwest and he invests in gold mines. Or excuse me, zinc mines. And he makes a lot of money for himself. And on a trip out to Colorado with his father, there was a train accident. Albert breaks his back in 3 places. Okay? Doctor says you're not going to live past 40 and you're probably never going to walk again. Now, he proves the doctor wrong. He does learn to walk again. But on that 6-foot, 5-inch frame of his, it's going to be painful. Okay? So he changes careers. You know, when he's a little kid, he's dreaming about being a cowboy. Right? Doesn't every little kid want to be a police officer or a cowboy, a fireman? And I always kind of throw in there park ranger.
Oh, yeah, that's
maybe. Now, he wants to be a cowboy. When he grows up, he ends up being a president of a life insurance company. Does that sound exciting? Well, parts of it is. If you include the fact that he makes $1 million a year, that's kind of exciting. But he's working 80-hour weeks in Chicago. His family life, his wife, they're not very happy. He's stressed out. His health is deteriorating. So he's got to change things. Luckily enough, he meets Scotty. Right? Scotty, remember, takes that money from the investors in New York and he comes out west to work on the gold mine. But,
Where's our time with this meeting? What's our year?
this would be about 1905.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, in 1905, he meets Scotty. Scotty takes the investors' money, Albert Johnson's money, who's one of the original investors, $2,500, and he comes out here to Death Valley, but he doesn't stay. He continues to Los Angeles, spending the money left and right, telling newspaper reporters that money comes from the gold mine. And Albert's in Chicago reading these stories. And he's mad. Because, he gives Scotty $2,500, probably thinking he'll never see Scotty again. And probably he'll never see gold in reality. But, you know what? He's reading stories about an actual gold mine. So he's going to want to see a return on his investment. So he writes to Scotty. He says, Scotty, I sure would like to see some of that gold. Scotty doesn't answer. He says Scotty a second letter saying, you better show me that gold or you're going to go to jail. Okay? Scotty doesn't answer. He writes to Scotty a third time and he says, Scotty, I'm coming out there and you better show me the gold. Well, what's he going to do? Sir, there's no gold mine, by the way. Scotty has to come up with a plan. And Scotty's plans are always a whole lot of fun for me to tell you. And I'm going to do that in the next room.
What kind of cards?
These here, they are war. Hence why we don't allow you to bring water in here. Why it's okay in the underground but not up here.
One of the radiators.
We've got 3 people who've been on the underground tour, and what did you just discover?
I saw one of the radiators that they were
We've
talking
got
about.
radiators in every room. We've got 14 fireplaces. So we'll talk about that when we get upstairs here in a second. But let's head into the dining room. Wow.
Look at these books.
Now, yeah, ours. Yeah. Now I'm gonna throw a twist in here. I'm gonna throw a curveball. Anybody a Red Sox fan, by the way? Okay, good. Anyway, I want to welcome you all into Albert Johnson's study. Right? What does this look like? Dining room. There we go. So in 1922, construction starts. Albert Johnson, engineer, not architect, he designs the original buildings here. Does Patrick tell you what those buildings look like?
His wife a warehouse.
Warehouse.
Yeah.
Concrete is what the walls are made out of. Shoe boxes. No wood, all right angles, holes poked to the side for lighting. And Bessie comes out here to inspect, and she says what?
I'm not living.
She didn't like it.
No.
I'd say 60%
Oh.
of the time when I ask that
It looks,
question,
I think he's built a warehouse in the desert.
that or she said yuck. She's not impressed. Right? So then she starts walking around in all the rooms. She notices Albert has provided electricity. And through that door, a bathroom, indoor plumbing.
Oh.
So her mood becomes a little bit more positive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then she gets to this room. She says to her husband, I haven't seen a dining room yet. What is this? Well, he says, this is my study. And can't you just picture books and all these shelves? But who do you think won the argument? She did. So that gives you a little insight on who Bessie was. Now, let's get back to my story, okay? Remember Albert? He meets Scotty in Los Angeles. And Scotty's going to have to show a gold mine. There is no gold, so Scotty comes up with a plan. He gets his friends, the lawbreakers, the bandits out here in Death Valley to pretend to rob Albert Johnson. Scare the city boy all the way back to Chicago. And he'll never want to come back out here again. Right? Well, the night before this is all supposed to take place, those bandits, Scotty's friends, are camping out in the desert. Under the stars, around a campfire. What do guys like to do when they're camping with their buddies?
Knit.
What's that?
Knit.
They like to knit. Well, they were knitting all over the place. And they decided that they could maybe make his story a lot more believable. Right? Instead of shooting up the sky, like Scotty wants to, they're going to shoot at the feet. That's much more realistic, right? Well, the next day comes, and Scotty and Albert, they're on the west side of the Panamints, okay? And they're going to go through Stagecoach, through Wingate Pass. And from the east side, the bandits are going to travel. Meeting right in the middle, they start shooting up the place, and I'm not sure if it was all that knitting the night before, or maybe they're just a bad shot, but they ended up shooting Scotty's brother right in the leg. And Scotty yells out, "Stop, you fools! Stop, you fools! You shot Warner!" And Albert Johnson is hanging back, watching the scene. Everything developing. He notices that when Scotty asked the bandits to stop, they did. And that was surely nice of them. And Scotty ended up knowing everybody's name here. How convenient. Well, Albert Johnson's a pretty smart guy. He puts 2 and 2 together, and he realizes that there was never any gold mines. And Scotty came up with this plan to scare him. But instead of going to Chicago and telling his wife he was so scared he never wants to come back out here again, he goes to Chicago and he tells his wife, Bessie, he had a blast. He finally got to experience that Wild West he had always read about, and he got to be a cowboy. For the next 10 winters, he comes back out here, him and Scotty, they start riding around the place hunting, being cowboys. And he, Scotty, becomes a Wild West tour guide for Albert, less of a gold mining prospector. That is when a friendship starts. Does that make sense?
No.
No.
I understand.
It doesn't make sense for us, as in we would never do that. But what do you think Bessie has to say about this?
Is she related to something?
Could be. Any other theories? Tell you what, we're going to talk about Betsy and why they were so okay with this when we go upstairs. For now, let's head into the kitchen. This is my favorite room on the house floor.
Whose chair was over here in the corner? Like only one chair?
I like to say that Scotty's. Scotty is here, is sitting in that room, will not be at the dinner table.
Really?
Just like Scotty would not be in that bed. This place was way too formal for him. Okay? Scotty was a cowboy. He didn't sleep inside, he slept under the stars. You ever heard that phrase, cowboy camping? Scotty just called it camping. Okay? Now, have you all kind of maybe kind of come to this idea that this place, Scotty's Castle, has a sense of mystery around it? You know, I'm sure there's a lot of stories people make up about this place, ghost stories and all that. Well, things here are not as they appear to be. And this room kind of plays to that point. For example, what is this here in this cabinet? Ice box, and what else did someone say? Refrigerator. So this is an ice box converted into a refrigerator. But across the courtyard, right, across this courtyard from that door is another room. About 3/4 the size of this one. That's a walk-in version of that. So in the 1920s, they could keep all their food for months on end, nice and cold, in the hottest place in the world. Now, why don't you all walk over here?
What style of furniture is this? Like this big hutch over here?
What style? I don't know. I don't know which exact style you'd say that was, but that was made here, and you get a sense of kind of medieval, decor, if you will, and some of the chandeliers and everything else here.
Question?
Yep.
Is that the Tambisha baskets?
Yes.
Okay.
So I just ate Shoshone because I butcher everything that I've tried to pronounce here. So we're going to see more of those when we go upstairs.
Okay, good.
This is basically what's called Bessie's collection. Alright, so the question I want to ask you is about this wheel here in this corner. And this wheel up here kind of drops down in this bucket or barrel down here. You all have any idea what this was?
Water?
Water, right? This makes a lot of sense. See, we have a cistern downstairs. Water collects off. But that's not true. We've got indoor plumbing. So they don't need this. Plus it rains like 1.5 inches here. So how are you going to collect water?
Well, would they be collecting it from the water that's flowing down?
They don't need to.
They don't need to. Okay.
Any other ideas though?
Hiding place?
It's a cooler for
Now, no. But if they had a wine cellar, it wouldn't be so much there. You all were in that. But I think You know that first room on your underground tour? Don't you think that would have made a perfect wine
Yeah,
cellar?
that's definitely fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a,
It would.
But they never had a drop of alcohol in their entire lives.
iced tea cooler.
Ice too. No, you were onto something. What did you
Place to hide stuff.
Place to hide stuff. What this was a trash can.
Oh dear.
Lift the lid up here, drop your trash in here, open the grate, and take your trash outside.
What did the
So
wheel do?
why have a wheel? To make you believe it's something that's not. To hide their trash. So do any of you have a kitchen, and in the middle of that kitchen, a trash can with a big sign that says trash can? You hide it under the sink.
Yeah.
This was their way of hiding it, but being creative about it. So in some aspects, the Johnsons were very much involved in the storytelling as well. Now, do you all have any other questions?
What kind of range is that?
And like what kind of fuel it used?
Yes.
So this used to be a wood-burning stove, converted into a gas stove, and they used propane.
Okay.
And when you were downstairs in the boiler room, behind the boiler was all these huge tanks where they held the propane gas.
Is this iron, the stove?
Yes.
So when did they convert the refrigerator to electricity?
Ammonia gas compressor. Well, let's head upstairs.
When did Bessie start to make this place look nice with these beams and stuff?
Does anyone on the underground floor remember the dates?
Because you said it was a concrete.
1925. 3 or 4 years after they started. So I'm going to follow you. I'm going to let you take the lead. The fourth thing you can touch on today's tour are the handrails. So please use the handrails. And I'll meet you in that first room. And when you go inside, go and look into the bedroom.
Oh my gosh.
So, did everyone look at the bedroom?
Not yet. We were looking at
Oh, look at the
this.
bedroom.
No, looking at this.
Did the Johnsons have any children?
They didn't. They couldn't. Because of his accident, they couldn't have any children. So there's a couple things I want to point out about this bedroom. Number one, what is the best part about this bedroom?
Walk-in closet.
Yeah.
Walk-in closet. That's a huge closet. Behind the closet is a bathroom.
Oh, cool.
What is the worst thing about this bedroom? Maybe I should ask him.
Walk through the closet. Get to the bed.
Not that. No, the door's right there.
Oh, the bathroom's over
Yeah.
there. Oh, okay.
No. The worst thing about in that bedroom there, and I'm specifically asking you that question, sir.
Is it a small bed?
That is a tiny bed.
Short bed.
How tall are you?
6'5".
So Albert Johnson, 6 foot 5 inches tall.
Oh.
Bessie Johnson, 4 foot 11.
Oh my goodness.
In the middle of the night, Albert Johnson's back is aching. He starts flailing his arms around in pain. It gets dangerous for Betsy in there. So as you all presumed, she slept out here most of the time.
And he slept on the diagonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met you. That's when we were first married. We visited my mom. That's how I slept on the bed.
So, Betsy's actually a really neat lady. She's actually pretty well known. She has a radio show in Chicago where she preaches. She wrote many of her
Religious
sermons.
preaching? Oh.
Very much religious. Protestant. Okay? And I'm the carpenter in 1939. We've got a tile worker, a foreman, a plumber, a tour guide, another carpenter, we got 2 more foremen. We got more supervisors and employees, right? And we all were expected to go to her sermons every Sunday. And he did not want to plan on doing anything for the rest of the day. Those sermons would last up to 4 hours.
Oh, God.
And who was the one guy who didn't have to go to these sermons?
Oh, Scotty.
Scotty. Why is Betsy allowing Scotty to get away with all this? Well, Albert Johnson, when he comes out here, and he's hanging out with Scotty for a month or two on end, right? And he goes back to Chicago, they notice that his health is improving. Okay? The dry air out here agrees with his back. Having these adventures with Scotty kind of lifts his morale. So when he goes to Chicago and works 80-hour weeks, he's not as stressed out. You know, his health was affecting his family life, and his wife was having a pretty bad go at it. Her health was was struggling as well. Well, Albert Johnson's health improved so much that he actually lives well into his 70s. And Bessie Johnson now has her husband back for the rest of her life. And she associates this with meeting Scotty. So she lets him get away with a lot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Was Albert able to go horseback riding and stuff?
He was. And it's, I actually personally don't know too much about it, but I do know that he had like a special saddle that was made for him. He couldn't do it on a typical saddle, but he rode quite a bit.
They say that balancing in the saddle builds these core muscles and back muscles and stuff.
I could see that.
Yeah, they do that for handicapped children.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That's it's a thing you see advertised. So.
Now, do you kind of see why I don't like to answer questions right off the bat and then let you formulate your own ideas? Because as we'll see, Scotty ends up kind of repaying some of that money back a little bit later. But before we get there, do you have any questions so far about this room, perhaps? Notice we've got more baskets.
Mm-hmm. Are they all Shoshone baskets?
They're all Shoshone baskets.
Is that native tribe here?
Correct. The Timbisha. There we go. I always mispronounce it.
Now, what did she? Did they offer amenities to the Indians that she got so many baskets, or were they trading, or just purchasing?
Just purchasing. Now, in 1922, construction starts, and they had a lot of people working up here. But in 1925, when they start construction, they revamp this place. They start putting a lot more money, basically, into this place. Many more workers worked and lived here, including the Shoshone. Okay? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's head into the next room and talk a little bit about how they built this place. Okay?
Are these curtains woven by native peoples?
No, they're not. No, these are. I'm sorry, these are. The ones downstairs are from New York.
Okay.
Those are lambskin. The ones downstairs are.
Oh, yeah.
The roof is tile here.
Yep. You probably saw a lot of those tiles in the basement.
Yeah. I thought your tattoo looked like a national park emblem.
It kind of is.
Is that what it looks kind of familiar.
I'll tell you about that afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to welcome you all into the Spanish Suite. All right? And in the 1930s, we could have rented rooms here. Okay, we could have been on that house tour. Bessie Johnson could have been our tour guide, but we could not have rented this room. This is the VIP room. This is where the relatives stayed, or Hollywood actors or actresses, or President or former President Hoover stayed here. Okay? Now in a minute we'll walk across the courtyard into the annex building, and I'm going to show you what the rooms would look like if we wanted to rent them. Now, since you've been on the underground tour, I'm going to pick on you all. But for the rest of you, when you were driving up here, okay, did you see any materials at all that you could build this place?
Stone.
Sand, stone, rock.
Rock.
And we have a lot of water. So you got to make things for concrete. And all you have to do is ship in cement, the binding agent for all of the walls. And running through all the walls, do you all know what that is running through the walls? Rebar. So that is probably one of the most expensive aspects about Scotty's castle, are not the walls or what's inside them. Okay? Rebar is not cheap. Okay? Now, up until 1928, Albert Johnson, all he has to do is ship in the cement to make the concrete. After 1928, the railroad closes, and he has to kind of be creative. So he decides to buy all the railroad ties associated with that railroad. Why does he buy these railroad ties?
Do they keep the railroad going?
No. No.
Is he using it up here?
No.
No.
These come from Northern California. They're all redwood.
Okay. He's reinforcing the roof of the basement. What?
He's using all these railroad ties. The wood.
The wood. Oh, ties.
Ties.
To burn. I thought you were saying rails. Okay.
To burn.
Okay.
So he's bought over 100,000 of them. Enough fire fuel to last about 100 years here.
Oh my goodness.
And why is he so concerned about heating?
Because it's cold in the desert in the wintertime.
And we're at a canyon. And we're at 3,000 feet of elevation. Much different than in Furnace Creek.
Okay.
And the Johnsons stay here December, January, February, not June, July, or August. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So construction stops in 1931. And did you all see that big swimming pool outside? The big open ditch.
Yeah.
It was never finished. If ever finished, it would have held 1 million gallons of water, but it was never finished because construction stops in 1931. Why does it stop in 1931? What happens in the 30s that could derail a project?
Depression.
And Albert Johnson, Bessie Johnson, they go from $60 million to 2 or 3. But any other reasons why construction stops?
What year?
1931.
Not the war, yeah.
So the National Park Service, the federal government, starts doing all of the survey work for Death Valley National Monument, and they realize that the land that Albert Johnson owns is not here, but over there. So he is building on land he doesn't own.
Oh.
So it takes about 6 years and a federal land swap, and he gets his land back. Okay? So in 1937, he owns everything. But because he has lost so much money, he can't start construction back up again. Does that make sense? Yeah. So to make money, they start opening this place up for tours and bringing out rooms. Question.
Bed and breakfast.
Not a bed and breakfast yet. It will become one. I'll talk about that.
When you said they had land over there, on the other side of the valley?
No, it's a couple miles away here.
Okay, when you said that they were looking around and they found the springs and the water and all that kind of stuff, did they have the option to take this, or did he just take it?
He thought he had bought his land here.
Oh. Okay.
But he didn't.
Okay.
Now, why does a man who owns $60 million buy land over there and not here is what you're asking, kind of, right?
Well, did he buy the land before he knew the springs were here?
No, he knew the water resources. Scotty used to live here. He took Scotty up here, showing him an empty mine, right? And Albert Johnson noticed that there's water here. He likes it here. So construction starts in 1922 when that Battle of Wingate Pass takes place. That is about 20 years earlier. So for 20 years, Albert Johnson's coming to this site, camping out, having adventures with Scotty at this site.
Okay.
So the reason why he buys land over there and not here is a guy named Steininger homesteads 200 acres out here. He sells his land to 5 people. He sells them an acre each, or 100 acres each. So 500 acres he sells. But he owns 200. So how does this happen? It doesn't really. The paperwork gets a little muddy. When they do a survey, land survey, out here at the turn of the century, they do it incorrectly. And because of this, Albert Johnson buys land over there that he thinks is here. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, let's head across the courtyard into that annex building.
I had a question. So when they started renting out rooms, was it more than January, the winter months?
Throughout the entire year.
Oh, okay. And they were in residence then the whole time?
Well, they didn't really. They never rented out that room, and they stayed in there.
Okay.
So if anyone ever stayed here, and it was usually not that often, they stayed over there.
Yeah. Okay.
So all these walls concrete?
Mm-hmm.
I figured it out.
Were there
Springer
servants or
to
something?
Katahdin.
There you go.
Oh.
Gorgeous. Amazing. He was rich enough to own a telescope. Did he ever bring anything like that?
Yeah, he did. He actually had set up a telescope right there.
Is it still here?
It's not. We have a picture of it, but
wow.
yeah, that's about it.
Wow, yeah.
So, when we go inside here, through this door, we're going to see rooms that we could have rented in the 1930s. Now, this first room, I want you to ask yourself a question. Do you want to stay in this room or the so-called VIP room? Okay? Then walk down the hallway, you're going to see 2 more guest rooms, but you're going to kind of meet me back up at the last room, which is the upper music room. Okay? When you walk into the upper music room, be careful. There are 2 steps that are hard to see in this lighting.
Okay.
Okay?
Picture.
So, actually, I wasn't going to mention this, but you guys see, there are no closets. There is a bathroom. That one has a bathroom. We have 2 guest rooms sharing this bathroom. So this room was not designed to be a bedroom. This room was designed to be Albert Johnson's study. And for the second time, Bessie has taken the study away from her husband to make money for the 1930s. Okay? So let me close this door and let you all walk down the hall here.
You know, sometimes you have to do what you have to do.
Yep.
Does this bathroom still work and stuff?
Mm-mm.
No.
Turned off all the water upstairs. So if say there's an earthquake and the pipes all break, it doesn't flood the place.
Tile is gorgeous.
Was that a bathroom in there or was that a closet in there?
Closet.
But like a hotel room.
So watch your step, and this wall is kind of what you just saw. Oh, it's just a closet. And it actually went outside.
Oh,
But yeah.
like a little patio or the fountain. Oh, with froggies, squirting froggies. Oh, I love it. I do.
2 steps.
Are those just decorative rods, or are they to tie the room together?
Um,
Stuff like that in Charleston.
Oh, watch this. Yeah, 2 steps. You know what? I don't have a great answer for that. I've seen in pictures that there were curtains on there, but I don't know that that's like the main reason, you know? But where are you going to see? You saw them in Charleston?
Charleston, yeah. You know, there's this way down, they're trying to put them through the house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I know where you have things on the outside.
Yeah.
Holes in the walls.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Is there a iron stud on the outside right here?
Oh, we can go outside and look, though.
And maybe it's in Charleston, that's what they were. Turnbuckles. They had a cable or
So,
a wire.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah.
So, in South Carolina, they're worried about earthquakes.
It's an old building. When you don't have girders and structures. Yeah. The balls in there. Baltimore, Maryland.
So, where are y'all from? Oh, I'm from Virginia. And remember that earthquake that happened a few years ago? I was on a chainsaw when that happened. That was a scary situation.
What is this structure right here?
This is just a closet they noticed from the bedroom going outside. Okay.
Name for this design?
Oh, like the for the acoustics? I don't know the name. I'm sure there is. So when we first met, right? I asked you a question. Do you remember that question?
He wasn't there.
You weren't. Do you remember that question? I asked you, what is the number one thing that we need to survive out here?
Oh, yeah.
Water.
Water. But don't you think the Johnsons needed music?
Oh.
This is our second music room, our second piano. Behind this wall are 1,121 organs. Excuse me. Yes.
That's
So in
amazing.
1939, all you had to do was grab a scroll music, pop it in over here, press the button, and whammo, you got music. So it's kind of like an iPod, right? Not so much, because I was going to go. I remembered about this. You had a question that I was going to bring back to this room. Now I can't remember exactly the question, but I think I'm going to cover it here in a second. So I think it's about electricity or something, power.
Okay.
Right? So we got all the power, right? And it's coming from the water and the Pelton water wells. But what happens in 1929? The Johnsons buy the Oregon. Right? So they have to come up with a secondary power source. What is the secondary power source? A diesel generator. And the question was about the powerhouse itself.
Yes.
The building. Well, that building didn't exist, but the original powerhouse, including the original Pelton water well, and for maybe a couple months, the diesel generator in the first powerhouse, underneath the flag tower, right by the upper music room. So when you want to listen to the organ, you got to crank open the diesel generator, press play on the organ, but which one do you think you heard? The diesel generator or the organ? Probably the diesel generator. Realizing how loud it was, they built that powerhouse back there to house everything.
I love this ceiling.
So, in 1943, the Johnsons are driving through the park, over Town Pass, over the Panamints, and there is a car accident. Bessie Johnson passes away. Okay? 5 years later, knowing that his time is coming, Albert Johnson sets up a non-profit organization called the Gospel Foundation of California to oversee everything, including Scotty, who outlives them all. Right?
What was our year on her death?
1943. So then, the Park Service steps in 1970. And we offer to buy this place. For $850,000, we are now the maintainers and the operators of the buildings, the furnishings, the property, the water rights, and the car collection. But you all are the preservationists behind this place. So I'm going to thank you for that very much. And if you think that's no big deal, or what have you, this organ is in its 8th day of playing. For 2 months, we couldn't play it. Okay? And that's because the motor on the blower was broken. Money came from the ticket office and your donations to repair it so that you can listen to it today. And don't you think that it's a lot prettier than the sound of my voice?
It's nice to hear it.
It's nice to hear it. Now, hold that thought. I want you to kind of look around. And I want to point out these coat of arms. Okay? And when we go downstairs, if you have questions about today's tour or anything about this room, we're going to talk about those downstairs. And I want you to come up with a possible significance of each coat of arm. And we're going to talk about those downstairs. Okay?
I see a Christian.
And I guess I don't mean to say each coat of arm, but as a group.
Did they ever use a roll that takes advantage of all the percussion and everything?
Did they ever use a what now?
One of the rolls that plays a song that uses percussion and everything that's keyboard
Yes,
is?
that was just one song that we play out of 10. And then we have over 400 songs from their collection that we play.
Awesome. So if I come back, I might hear a different song.
Yeah. This is the flag tower. So you would have to go upstairs and hang the United States flag every morning and take it down every night.
Are these steps all remarkable to hang on the wall like this?
That's a good question.
Probably, I would say they were.
I think these are, but that ladder is the scary part about this tower.
Yes.
That ladder is the reason why we don't hang the flag anymore. Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about that and the coat of arms.
Okay. This is another building. This is not the building with the kitchen, right? The building with the kitchen.
Yes.
The coat of arms in that big.
We crossed over.
But we've not been in there. No, we didn't go.
We didn't go in there, did we?
in? He said under the water tower. He said that remember to play the.
Yeah, behind.
We have been.
So you want to go in there?
Well, is that also rooms for It's just your
The Gospel Foundation put that in.
So how long did they own the Gospel Foundation own this place?
From the time that Albert passes away in 1948 to 1970. And they make it a B&B.
Oh, okay.
So, any ideas about the significance of the coat of arms?
I'm not familiar with Scotty, so.
Are they Bible characters?
Crusades?
You've got a lot of Moorish and
Morris?
Spanish decor,
Uh-huh.
but the coat of arms look like German or English.
That's what someone else said to me once. I don't personally know. What I do know is what Bessie Johnson would have said if you asked her in 1939. So she is going to say that each coat of arms represents the family crest of the iron workers here at Scotty's Castle.
Weird.
And the ironworkers come from?
Doesn't matter, because she's a liar.
Oh.
She saw them in a catalog. She liked the way they looked, so she painted them up there. So it turns out that Bessie has a little Scotty in her as well. And the reason why that's connected with the vase is there's a whole lot of stuff in there, including portraits of random people, that there is no significance of.
Okay.
It's just they like the way it looks.
Yeah, right.
But I did see
So
the
they,
Madonna and
I guess,
Child.
like the way that looks.
Okay.
I did see the Madonna and Child up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems to me that maybe they latched on to Scotty just to take part in his. He was kind of famous, right? I mean,
Very famous.
Vicariously participate.
yeah, it was almost like their money could buy anything except that.
Not
so,
Chicago. Chicago couldn't give it to them this good. Yeah.
True adventure. I don't know. It's a kind of a mystery.
True adventure or pretend, faux adventure, you know, it's like.
Well, I lived here and I could go horseback riding all around here and I could see Indians.
Yeah, but you could do that without the guy who cheated you out of money. So there has to be some.
How many times have people say they could?
And don't.
And they
don't.
Yeah.
So I actually don't. My opinion about this place seems to change every day, right?
I think
So
Scotty was well worth the $2,500.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
so do you all have an opinion about the real name behind this place?
Versus.
You don't have to think. You don't have to answer now. Just think about it when you drive home.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting.
Cool. That's the cookhouse. Okay.
So
So
about the same period.
everything's made at the same time period. Everything that you see, minus the wooden addition to that gas tank house, that was built by the Gospel Foundation of California.
What about the building where the offices are? What was that originally?
A garage.
Oh.
Now, did they do all their cooking up there instead of using that nice kitchen?
Most of the cooking was done in there. Scotty was the original chef for everyone, but he was kind of generous with the food. So the Johnsons kind of fired him from that, brought in a new cook, and he became the chef for the Johnsons. Not really just, they need to pay him, but more because he was an extremely good chef. When he was in the Wild West show, he traveled Spain, Italy, France, all over, and he picked up a lot of skill.
He was well worth the $2,000. Right there.
You mentioned at one point that Scotty helped them out or reimbursed them or something.
Yeah,
How did he do that?
So, and I touched about this, but I don't say it directly. Now, in 1939, you're going to be mostly interested to hear what Scotty has to say, as opposed to looking at all the rooms. So visitors came, paid good money for tours, rented rooms here because they wanted a chance to meet Scotty.
Oh, okay.
So they got money from this place because of Scotty. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. Sure. I can see now why it's Scotty's Inn. I can see that.
Was that the original name? No, the original name was
Death
Death Valley
Valley
Ranch, right?
Was
It's
carved in.
kind of hard to tell. I mean, when the original name is Death Valley Ranch, but then a month after everything's built here, Scotty's taking credit for it. So the media calls this place Scotty's Castle.
Yeah. Great.
Anybody buried on the hill?
Scotty. Scotty's buried up on Windy Hill. It's named Windy Hill for his dog, Windy, who he's buried next to.
Can we see the grave, or is it? Oh, you can see.
It's about 25-30 minute walk. And it's a good walk. Yeah, it's never actually full. It's kind of weird. They had all the water everywhere, but they never filled it.
Yeah, for houses for.
We got a hacienda, so a guest house, a cookhouse, the main house, the annex, the garage, the long shed, which is where carpenters and skilled craftsmen would have worked or lived, and the horse stable. And yeah, we do. We've got horsepower. We've got a 1914 Packard, which is one of 4 in the world.
That was
We've
the one
got
we
a.
made.
That's the 1933. Up there is the 1914. Oh. Okay, so you haven't seen that yet. So I suggest you walk up there.
That's
There's a
the one
1925 Ford AA dump truck, which is the same one I think you saw in the picture. I think Patrick uses. No, he doesn't use that one.
And that's the swimming pool.
And that's the swimming lake.
And the tiles are in the basement.
Yeah.
Yep. There it is.
Thank you very much. Carpenter.
Tom.
So now you need PCT.
What's that?
Now you need PCT
Yeah, right.
and then CDT somewhere on the back or chest or something.
There's been a couple folks here I've met who've hiked the PCT. My buddy's done the CDT. He's the only one I know that's done that.
Yeah, that's the one least traveled, I think. Isn't it?
Yeah. It's not really blade. So you gotta be pretty good with your GPS and map and compass to hike that one.
Did you enjoy the AT or was
I
it?
loved it.
You loved it. How did you do it? I guess what 6 months less or less?
A little bit less. Just over 5, actually.
I can't imagine it. Awesome.
All you need is time.
Yeah, right.
Which is hard to come by these days.
I hear you.
I was happy I took advantage of it because that was the one thing I had.
What year did you? 2007.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, hiking it, and we lucked out. It was a good year to do that as well.
Yeah.
We had enough rain for water, but it never got so wet that it rained on us more than 2 days in a row.
Was Maine as bad as they say? Was it?
No, Maine's gorgeous. Pennsylvania sucks.
Okay. All right.
Because it's all rocks. There is it's either all rocks or basically farms.
Huh.
And it doesn't take you through the nicest part of Pennsylvania, in my opinion.
Cool.
But New Jersey was an eye-opener. That was actually beautiful.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Awesome adventure, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
You too.